what I think it means. It means that I should play with the board flipped. Okay, this is a first. I'll try it. Okay, so I'm going to be playing with the board flipped, huh? Wow. You're really trying to control everything I do, huh? You will not look at the board normal, you said. You will look at it from my perspective as I beat you. Okay, let's give it a shot here. Let's see this. The board flipped. Boom. Come on, black. Okay, this is different. Oh man, imagine trying to do a 1-minute chess like this. Okay, everybody loves the Caro-Kann. Whoa, it's just kind of, it was glitchy there for a second. It didn't drag. The Caro-Kann is strong. Oh, it's dragging. Am I able to pre-move? Yeah, it lets me pre-move. Not that that's a legal move, but that was only a test. So the Caro-Kann, I'm playing on the black side. This is different. Okay, I have to like rewire myself to think correctly on this. The exchange Caro. Black is looking pretty good, aren't they? Ah, this is different. Has anybody done this before? I don't think I've even ever... I haven't done this before. Huh. A new way to play. A new variant. Fisher random, flipped. Regular chess, flipped. Okay, so Caro-Kann exchange. This is probably not a good placement for the knight. Black is now getting their light square bishop out. Pinning the knight. If you're playing the Caro, you got to get your queen bishop out. That is the main intention. Solve the problem of that light square bishop. E6. Yes, E6 is strong. Just get this bishop out. I don't have to worry about a pin. If the bishop was here, I'd definitely go here, but maybe I want to go here instead. Or maybe I want to reserve my options. Rook c8, get on this half-open c file. I hope I remember what direction my pawns are going in. It's back up. I think that that would be annoying. Actually, some of the thoughts that I'm experiencing while playing this game is what should black be doing that would be annoying to white? What would I like not like to see more than anything? That would have been the move, the bishop h5 move. This is cool. Alright, I think I just chopped this knight. Wouldn't that be good? What can black be doing? Oh, I'm seeing things. I'm going to take that knight. Yeah, that can't. This structure is going to be pounced on, right? Right? Oh, man, it's really weird. It's really weird. Okay, I'm going to play my bishop to d6. And the reason for it is because this knight is really keeping a close eye on the h4 square. Let's castle first. And I really did... I'll often mess up when I name squares, but I mean it when I say the h4 square is where this knight wants to be. Because he's going to be a monster right here. He is definitely going to be a monster, and here he goes. He is on his way to h4 or even f4. You'll note that when pawns are isolated, the squares in front of them, squares on the same file as isolated pawns act as good homes, and this knight is now eyeing both f4 and h4. Is this bishop going to take the knight? This is actually a lot tougher than it may seem. Okay, if knight takes, I just take towards the center unless I have a good reason not to, and then it could be this knight that maybe jumps in. Okay. Maybe I just go with this right away. Yeah. Let's come here. That's got to be good. I would be fearing that if I was white. Fear that move. Fear knight h5. Knight h5, looking at that f4 square. I want to trade a bunch. This knight to f4, nothing tricky here. Maybe a little bit later on would I try to go and get a b5, b4 in. That's kind of tough to do with this bishop there, but I'm really looking for a bunch of trades. I want to enter a good knight. Well, hang on. Do I take with the knight or the queen? I don't know how much. I don't see any attack really. It's the knight and the queen that I could only have that could maybe give white a problem, but I'm just not seeing that really as causing white a problem. For example, I take with the knight, the bishop backs up. Having just these two attackers is really not going to be enough. In fact, I see myself, if any side, I see black as being the one that can maybe have pressure with this half-open g-file. So I want to avoid any attacks and enter an endgame where I have a better pawn structure and a knight that could maybe camp out on this f4 square. That would take quite a bit of work. I would like to have maybe my king on f6, pawn on h6, and the other pawn on g5. And then my knight sticking around on that square is probably good. And now this is interesting. If I take, okay, the structure is repaired and I can no longer rely upon the f4 square. So in the meantime, how do I make progress? I think we're at a standstill on the king side. This rook is going to be giving me some problems soon. Maybe I should do this awkward looking move. Yeah, it's very awkward looking, but why I want to get in b5. Why didn't I do a6 first? Okay, I'm going to trade. I know it repairs that pawn structure, but I didn't do a6 because I think a good reply would be a4, and if I ever take away from the center, then the bishop takes my pawn on a6. This pawn is guarded by my knight, so even if there's doubling, it's not a threat, or actually it is. Doubling the rooks, I have to address this problem right here, right away. Because let's say after rook a to g, if I, let's say, play b4, there's rook to g5 hitting the knight, and I don't have this pawn advance to defend my knight anymore. So what I'm getting at is I have to do this move right now. And if my knight is being attacked with a rook move, I don't think I move my knight. I think I move my king. Because if there's a particular pawn break that I should be fearing, I think it's this h4 move. Okay, nothing's done on the king side, so let's keep making progress. Follow through with this minority attack. There's nothing else going on over here. Rook h, h4 or g5, I think I throw my king in the corner, and this knight is still very strong. And is within striking distance, and I think I still keep going. Or you know what? No. This a5 move was probably inaccurate. Because if I have to move my king, where would I much rather move my king? f8. So that's why I should have done this move sooner. Now that I did not consider. Okay, I want my knight to reinforce this point. Let me do this with tempo on the rook. My knight is done having fun on h5. If rook here, I think I just bump my king up. Okay, I think I just keep going now. This bishop is unprotected. I think this structure is actually going to be enough to fend off any potential sacrifice. One piece can be sacrificed. Actually, two would need to be sacrificed for my king to really be under any fire, but then that's just leaving a single piece to attack my king, and that's not going to be enough. Less than 30 for white. I have broken through on the queen side. My rooks are very active. I can't get really more active than this with my rook. Lateral and along a file, and I could grab this pawn with check. I don't see a reason not to do that. The rook is threatening my rook, and I pretty much have to take, so let's do that. And now, where would my knight like to be? Probably back here, eyeing f4. Right there. 20 seconds for Team White. Let's pin this bishop. And if king here, I think... Oh, okay, I was going to say if king here, I could still go to this square. But now I could go there and just pick up that piece. That's going to be game over. And if that looked simple, it was not. That was really a tough adjustment, playing with the board flipped. Good game. That was different. Interesting idea there, Mr. Go Fishing, to suggest a flipped board while I play. Alright, so let's see how things were for you. Don't obstruct your c-pawn. That's one thing. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Also, your dark square bishop, 2 reasons not to go here. Well, it's just watching over a pawn you don't need to. Maybe I could give more than 2 reasons. You're watching over a pawn you don't need to. Another one is there's more aggressive squares, f4 and g5. g5 would be pinning my knight. And a third one, notice that this is a half-open file, and once castled, your rook would love to play to e1 and not have any pieces in its way. Not have any pieces kind of masking it from seeing the black side. If your bishop's on e3 and you have your rook on e1, your bishop is putting a blindfold over that bishop. Your bishop is putting a blindfold over that rook. Forget what I just said right there. Okay. Those are my main suggestions. This, I don't know that you could really deal with that. I don't know that you could allow that compromised kingside structure to occur. You might have to actually just pull the bishop back and then free your knight up in that way. G4, I'm assuming you didn't do because it's just very weakening. I could see why you would not want to do that. Maybe it's best to bring that bishop back and then your knight is able to move. Things become very tough now. Structurally, things are good. I think in this ending, right here, okay, let me back up. I think at this point, after I play rook b8, don't play rook g4. Make me work a little bit harder to get this advance in. Play a4 here. I think that that's an improvement. Slow this down a little bit. a4, you can translate as follows. a4 is basically saying, you know what? If black is to get in b5 successfully, your rook on a1 will at least get to play along the a file. So get him working first. Get your pawn up to a4. Now it's going to be tough. I don't know that there's a good solution. My rooks get very active, and I'm there to secure my 1 point. These rooks are also kind of out of play. If there's not an attack against my king, they're just, yeah, they're out of play, and we're beyond the point of where it's recoverable. So, all right, good game to go fishing.